Hi guys, what's going on? It's the 79th edition of the Chronicles of Podcast. Welcome in, take a seat, get comfortable. It's going to be a hell of a ride. Jamie, I do believe that these on this side over here, right behind Stay Cozy, literally right behind it, are the Chronicles of Alex Segal.
Yeah, I just saw him, he's right there.
Wonderful, let's get started. Hit it!
Hey, honey bunny, it's Rivka Reyes.
This is Ron Wasserman, the nut that wrote Go-Go Power Rangers.
It's Boba Fett here.
This is Molly Rennick from Living Dead Girl.
It's WWE superstar, legend, Davey Boy Smith's daughter, Georgia Smith.
Hi, I'm Alex Segal, and I'm the Managing Director of talent agency InterTalent, one of the biggest talent agencies in the UK. And you're listening to the Chronicles of Podcast with Tom and Jamie.
I have a crazy, wonderful life.
My arsehole, I was crushing so much coal, I was making diamonds, so I became the richest man alive.
I'll see you! Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 79th edition of the Chronicles of Podcast. And are the Chronicles of Alex Segal. It is I, the bearded brummy Jamie, and joining me, as always, is this handsome fella right here.
This is Scott and Tom. Because your V's cut out in the middle and came back, I don't know what it was.
It was Mortal Kombat.
Oh, the original Mortal Kombat theme song. I know, when you know something and then you're like, it's on the tip of my tongue. Why is it on the tip of your tongue as well? But why is it not on the breast of your chest, or why is it not on why is it not on like the lobe of your ear? Why is it?
Oh, it's right on the edge of my nip. I just can't quite get it. Oh,
why? Oh, it's right. It's right on the bottom of the belly. Like, what is that song? So it's like a weird, like, tip of the tongue. I guess because obviously you speak from your mouth. Why is it on the crest of your tooth? It's just a weird.
Like you don't stick your tongue out when you're talking, do you?
Yeah. I wonder, right, if anyone's going, look, it's right there.
It's not there.
Oh, Jamie, we're back for another week. We love it.
Yes,
we love to come back. Bracing your screens or your ears wherever you enjoy your weekly dose of the Chronicles of Podcast. Thanks for coming in. We really appreciate it. How you doing, Jamie? You okay?
I am good, my friend. I'm good. I'm a little bit tired, but yeah, I'm good. I actually had a day off today where I didn't do anything. It was fucking glorious.
Oh,
I know.
Disgusting. I love
it.
It's so filthy. It's almost like you feel bad for doing fuck all.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I was like, well, I got Olivia's parents' evening today, so I'm doing something productive. So for the rest of the day, I'm going to sit on my ass.
Woo! We love that. Absolutely amazing. Could you imagine, right, getting a role in a TV show or a series and being like, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. And then either being a patient in a coma or someone who dies really quick in the first episode.
How pissed would you be? Especially if it was like a dream role, like I finally get to work with this actor or this director. You're like, oh, okay, I'm just going to lie there dead. Okay, cool.
You're on the train or in a car at the very beginning of the very first episode and it gets crashed into, you get shot at and die, or you get put in a coma and that's it. And then you die in a coma. I suppose you get to lie there and be still and quiet, and because like for series on episodes. But I'd be livid. If like, oh my God, I get to be in this, but I don't get to speak, do anything, move, or
The only thing that can make it worse is you film it. You're like, fine, I'll accept it. This is what it is. You take your family to the cinema to go see it. It comes on, and the scene was cut. You're like, motherfucker.
Yeah. I've always wondered.
I quit acting.
I can't remember what I was watching. I think Keris was watching something and it had a coma patient, and I was like, I wonder if when he got that role, he was like, you want me to do what? For the whole series? Oh, okay. Do I wake up? You don't know? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm here now. I might as well carry on.
I'll take the role if you promise I'll wake up. We promise you wake up.
We might write it in. We might not. Who knows?
There's only one way to find out, Dave. Sign here.
Yeah. For now, lie down, shut the fuck up, and pretend to be dead.
It always makes me laugh when you see like watching films and you got like dead bodies on the ground. I always look at them like, can you see him breathing? Did he move a little bit? How good is his acting?
Movements. It's the eye movements. They always move their eyes, always, because you see their lids like moving up and down.
You just want to catch them out that little bit.
But again, the other thing that really came to mind when watching TV is the people that complain about TV series and TV episodes that complain to Ofcom.
I've never.
Who has the time, right? Who has the time? It's obviously all the Karens and Kevins, is what it is. But like, Celebrity Chase. Someone complained about the Celebrity Chase because they didn't know who anybody was.
What?
Tony Cottee was in there. He's a Leicester City legend footballer, and he does Soccer Saturday every Saturday, and no one knows who Tony Cottee is. You're like, oh, it's getting to that generation, isn't it, where nobody knows. I think one was a drag queen, the Vivian, and then there was a couple of other people as well from TV, and nobody knew who they were, and they actually complained to Ofcom that they didn't know who the celebrities were, and you're like, really, really,
that much of
really?
a fuck?
I know. It's a celebrity chase. Like, who cares?
Who are you expecting on the Celebrity Chase? Fucking Tom Cruise and shit. It's going to be B-listers no one gives rat's ass about. Let's be honest.
Well, we give some sort of ass about them, yeah, because otherwise they wouldn't be where they are.
Well, that's very
Do
true.
you know what I mean?
That's very true.
So-
yes, but you know, what do they?
The other one-
Why do you care so much? Turn it over, Karen. You fucking idiot.
The Stacey Solomon decluttering TV series that's been on. Someone had their rabbits in a conservatory and had them moved outside, and people said it was cruel because the animals got moved to a hutch outside. So they complained. There was lots of complaints about it. I mean, complain about what you want, but I mean, surely you've got better things to do with your life. Surely.
Yeah, I honestly don't think Ofcom even read them. I think they're just go delete. I don't think.
I think what I might do is when Antiques Roadshow comes on, I might kick off about Fiona Bruce's dress and be like, it's the wrong colour. Why does she think she could pull off white and green? Are you for real?
Dear Ofcom, I was watching Antiques Roadshow, and quite frankly, I wouldn't have paid more than £5 for it, so I think they're idiots and you shouldn't be on the air.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely mental.
I know my antiques.
So yeah, I never get people that complain about TV episodes. It's like there's way more to life than complaining about the Celebrity Chase or Stacey Solomon. Do you know what I mean? Like, get over yourself. And
why?
When you go masturbate today, that might make you feel better. Anyway, just to end on that sort of thing as well, Jamie. I had Monday Night Raw on last week, and Garish just turned to me and she was like, "Oh, what's John Cena's catchphrase again? It's 'I see you,' isn't it?" Anyway, we move on. So, that doesn't even need discussing. That is.
I see you.
Yeah.
I see you.
No, I see
look
you.
at this. It's I see you. When we get one-on-one in that ring at WrestleMania, I'll see you.
So he comes out, and he's like, "Yeah, never give up. Yeah, you know what you do. Yeah, let's go." And then runs in. Oh, that was way too much fun.
Oh, speaking of TV, I know we're not normally ones to do like, oh my god, have you seen this trailer? But have you seen the trailer for the new Power Rangers special on Netflix?
I have not.
Holy shit. It's not right for a 36-year-old man to be so excited over a Power Rangers episode. But I watched it and I was like, oh my god, this looks incredible.
I will watch it because
I cannot wait.
Because it's that wonderful thing called nostalgia. So, sorry, I'm fighting with me swallowing here, with me thinking esophagus. That's what's going on. I'm trying to get words out, and it's trying to stop me. It's oh my god! I was going to say retracting. That's not the right word. It's like restricting me slightly. So I'm like,
John
yeah,
Cena
but no, I've seen you share it, and I went, I will watch it at some point, but I'll let him have his moments to stuff.
I was just so excited watching it. I was just like, oh, this looks incredible. I was like, it genuinely looks good. And then it's like, holy fuck, this is cheesy bad. Like Power Rangers should be cheesy bad. I was like, I cannot wait for this fucking show to come on. Come on.
But it's done in 2023 as well. It's not like it was done in 1993 like it was originally. So it's going to be, updated cardboard buildings and stuff that's going to blow up and all that sort of thing. So yeah, it's going to be. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. Just that, because David Yost is in it, and obviously as a kid, Blue Ranger was everything to me. So I was always blue. It's great because everyone wants to be red or white or green every time when you used to play as kids, and I always got to be blue because no one wants to be blue.
I tell you what, rewatching it with Olivia, I've found this newfound appreciation for Billy. To be fair, I was like, fair play, Billy is fucking awesome. Like, he did not get enough love. You're absolutely right. He was awesome. So I tip my hat to Billy. He's very, very good.
My brother was a Zach man. Loved Zach. And I can't believe it. Like that's still that's mental to me. That is mental that obviously Jason David Frank took his own life, sadly. Such a shame, man.
I know. It's gutted. But his last movie is coming out very soon as well. So I'm looking forward to watching that as well. Legend of the White Dragon, which is Power Rangers-esque. I think it is. I think it's like Power Rangers, but it's not Power Rangers. Don't sue us, Saban, please. But no, it looks really good.
Okay,
as well.
fair.
Yeah, what
have you been doing yourself anyway, Jay?
Not a fat lot, to be honest. I've mostly been Rihannaing. I've mostly been working. I've been on late, so I've had like no time for myself. Last Wednesday, I went to go see the kids, which going there was fine. Great spending time with the kids and everything. And then I got to come home. Oh, I turned into a very different person that day, Mr. Stevens. I shouted. I got angry. I actually stood up for myself to people. It was not a good time. I got to Cheltenham train station and it was literally a giant queue of people for the races. I was like, fuck, I'm not going to get this train. But luckily I managed to squeeze onto the train. The train absolutely stank of stale booze. Couldn't get a seat anywhere. I was just like, it's fine. Keep you calm. Watch things on your phone. Distract yourself. I had the same Irish guy fall into me about 5 times. It was like constantly landing on my shoulder. I was like, okay, man, contain your composure. You'll be fine. And then he did it again. And he went, I'm really sorry about that. And I looked at him and went, if you're really sorry, stop doing it. And then he went and sat somewhere else. I don't speak up to people like that, but I actually did that time. And then as soon as he walked away, another drunk Irishman started falling into me. I was just like, I'm just going to stand in my elbow out now. So if you fall into it, that's on you, my friend.
So Simpson.
Oh, I was not a happy buddy. By the time I got home, I was just like, ah.
So I understand where you're coming from, but you made the fatal error of going on race week. Of course, you stay away from that town.
I know.
You stay away from that town during that week. There's no way you're going anywhere near it. I'm so pleased I don't live there anymore, man.
I was quite surprised. It was easy getting there. No problems whatsoever. On train, off train, through station, no problem whatsoever. It was on the way home. I was like, oh, I hate everyone and everything in this town right now.
It is a shit week.
It is a fucking awful week. God damn, I hate it so much. Other than that, I've watched The Last of Us, all of it, in about 4 days' time. We just binged
Good
it.
Work.
I've been working late, so we've been staying up to like 1 o'clock in the morning, just binging it because it's just so fucking good. Like, both of them deserve every award. Just throw every award at them for their performance in this show. It's
Did you ever finish the game?
No.
So now you know how the game ends.
I do, but this is me. By the time I actually get around to finishing it, I will probably forget. But there's a lot in the game that isn't in the show. I thought.
Well, no, because the credits are 9 episodes, so there's a lot of stuff got cut out. But I don't. Go on.
Yeah, I was going to say the last thing I remember playing on the game, I restarted it like yesterday because I couldn't remember how the fuck to play it. So where I was in like a supermarket or something, and I don't remember that happening in the show. So I know there's a lot cut out, to my
A
knowledge.
supermarket?
Yeah, so it's like a supermarket. It's really dark. Maybe it's a shopping mall or something. I can't remember. Like, it's been that long since I played it again. I was like, I don't know where I am.
The Mall's the prequel. The Mall's the prequel game. I'm trying to remember now. But I've finished the game like 15,000 times. And I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And obviously the second series is already in the works. But I think the best scene, in my opinion, was episode 5.
Episode 5. Which bit?
With
I
this-
watched it on
with
one
this-
go.
With the sniper. And then and then they get caught and they're about to all die, and the truck falls to the floor.
Yes.
And all the horde appears, yeah. And the bloater comes out like, fuck!
Yeah, I was sort of seeing that blow, so I was like, shit. He's a big fucker.
Yeah.
There wasn't as many infected people in the show as I was expecting.
I know, but I think I quite like the fact that it was based on, it's a Joan Ellie story, isn't it? So I like the fact that it's based on, like, they were around, you heard them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I quite like that it was more based on like the survival part of it rather than the effects of being everywhere. I mean, you don't want to kiss off them like in the second episode, Jesus.
Oh God, no. No.
Know that?
Yeah. Yeah. The scene in the museum, I think that was the second episode as well.
Yeah.
Well, I remember playing that in the game and I was like, shit, that looks exactly like it does in the game. Whoever did like set this up, what a job. They've done an incredible job of world building.
But Neil Druckmann, the creator and the director of The Last of Us, had a whole part to play in it. And obviously, the guy who voices Joel plays James.
Mm.
The girl who voices Ellie was the pregnant lady in the last episode.
Yes. Yeah.
She's also Gretchen in Recess. If you didn't know that.
I did not know that. That's amazing.
Yeah. The lady who voices Marlene played Marlene.
Yes. Yes, yeah.
And the guy who played Perry, the really big fucker with the massive grey beard and the massive shotgun,
yes.
he voices Tommy in the game. So I think it's really cool that they had all that in, like. So yeah, it's great. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Incredible series. It was amazing. But I love the games as well. So like watching it come to life on TV and I'm doing it justice was just like, yeah, this is fucking incredible.
Yeah, and the relationship between Ellie and Joel, they just portrayed it so well. Like they were so good together. They acted so well together. If anyone hasn't watched it, go fucking watch it because it is absolutely incredible. But I guess you want an update on the other show that I've been watching, my friend. Season 8, episode 9. Getting there. Getting towards the end.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I'm struggling with this season. I don't know if I'm burnt out from constantly watching it or this season's just not grabbing me. Don't know what it is. It's just all the others are like, shit, I need to watch the next episode. But even like season 6 that people didn't really like, I even prefer that to this so far. Like I'm really struggling. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just waiting for something to happen, but I don't know. But I will say, Annie Wershing, her performance as Renee Walker in this season, fuck me, she's so good. Like where she breaks down after she kills the Russian guy, I was like, fuck me, give this woman an award for that performance alone.
So she actually voices Tess in The Last of Us in the game.
That I did not know. That's amazing.
Yeah.
What cross?
And obviously, sadly, she lost her life
a
couple of months ago. So, which is such a shame. But yeah, she's amazing as Renee Walker in 24.
So good. And the cast is great. Like, I was like, fuck me, it's Freddie Prinze Jr. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
But I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm burnt out because I've watched it like solid, or maybe this season just isn't doing it for me. And the new CTU building, no, not a fan of that. Give me my old CTU building back. Not a fan of that.
No. Were you happy to see CTU back?
I was, but I was like, who's this dude in charge, and where is everyone, and why is everyone being mean? And I don't know. I don't like it.
It's great, mate. Just wait. It's good. It's good.
Maybe I just need something happen to bring me in, but I'm struggling with this one at the minute. I'm only on season 9, episode 9, rather. I've got a lot to go yet. So,
and don't forget, this was meant to be the last series ever.
Yes, I remember.
So 8 was meant to be the final one, and obviously they did the half one. So just soak it and enjoy it, man, because you're about to reach the end of one of the greatest, if not the greatest TV show of all time.
Yeah, from seasons 1 to 7 so far. Superb. But yeah, I'm struggling a bit with 8. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. What about you, my friend? How are you? What have you been up to?
Yeah, right. I've been Rihannaing a lot at the moment. So, and then over the weekend, I did nothing. And it was great. I watched all the rugby on Saturday, like literally all of it. I lost my voice in the Scotland game because the Italians almost beat us, and I was a bit like my arsehole. You know, I was crushing so much coal, I was making diamonds, so I became the richest man alive. That's how that game went, basically. And obviously, Ireland won the Grand Slam, so it's congratulations to them. They're great to, for all our Irish brothers and sisters out there, Baz, Jerry, all those lovely boys and girls. Congratulations. So, fully deserved. I finished a series called Defending Jacob, and I found it really slow.
Okay, never heard of it.
Chris Evans is in it, and he plays a lawyer. And basically, his kid gets arrested for murder, and it's all didn't he do it? Did he or didn't he? It's all right. It's a slow burner. It got better in the middle, and then the ending was a bit like, oh. So it just took me ages to get through it. So we've now started Ted Lasso. So yeah, and there's now started Ted Lasso. So I watched the first episode and we found it hilarious. So really looking forward to watching that properly. I've been watching a series called The Me You Can't See as well, which is Oprah Winfrey and Harry. They can't call him Prince anymore.
I think, did you mention this last week?
I think I did, but mental health, yeah.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Amazing. Like there's an episode about kids losing parents and parents losing kids. Oh, dude. Fuck me. Hard. That was a hard watch. Because obviously I've never seen obviously you see it on TV and stuff, but like an actual parent who's actually lost their kids, and you just like, wow. It's like it was weird. It was in Arizona, and they go to this like massive farm that's just full of animals, but like they're animals that have been abused. So it's like, so it's almost like needy. How to explain it? Not, you know what I mean? Like they're there for each other, sort of thing. Yeah. And there was this guy that lost his son, but there was this golden retriever that just fucking loved him and wouldn't leave him alone. And it was just really nice to see that bond and see that relationship between those two, like that sort of thing. It was
okay. But
obviously, like they're just all broken, and it's hard. I really enjoyed the series. I really enjoyed it, but some of it was really tough to get through. There's like war-stricken kids that have lost their family to war, like Syria and stuff. That was in there. I'm pretty sure the doctor from that's been on Russell Howard. So yeah, that was like a tough watch. It's great, man. Like it was really insightful, and we really enjoyed it. So just because Robin Williams was on it, so then I watched his documentary. I think I watched this last week.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
Yeah. So I still to watch that, but. Other than that, man, I've started Frasier again. I'm on series 3 now. I was watching that last night. I just love that show. There was an episode yesterday where, and I haven't done this for 8. When you laugh so much that you can't control your body, you can't really laugh, and then you start to cry loads because you're laughing so much. That literally happened last night.
I love it. I love it when you laugh like that.
Yeah, it was great, absolutely amazing. But I'll be honest, man, I've not been anywhere or done anything. Obviously, it was Mother's Day on Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers and whatnot out there. It was. I didn't go anywhere or do anything. So
I was working, so I didn't really get to do much. We had a nice morning for Olivia, but yeah, I didn't really get to do anything.
There we are
working. There we are.
We're all caught up, Jamie. So I do believe because you hear from Braden at Stay Cozy Clothing.
All right, is this thing on? Well, howdy doody, everybody.
This is Braden Berry from Say We Can Fly, founder of Stay Cozy Clothing. Your one-stop shop for the coziest, most fashionable hoodies, t-shirts, and more.
Gosh, Mickey. That's right, folks. And we're proud to say that we are now sponsoring
the Chronicles of Podcast.
Ouch.
Hosted by Tom and Jamie.
Like, you can get 10% off, man! That's right, Shaggy! Just use the special code, The Chronicles, at checkout.
Oh, boys!
Always will be the greatest advert of all time.
Of all time.
Jamie,
Yes, sir.
it's time for Callum's Treachings.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Do you want to know something? Callum will be able to tell you in Callum's Treachings.
It's cereal soup.
Ooh.
So, my loves, Callum is here to treat the world again, and we'll just get straight on into it. Jamie,
Yes.
what is Callum treating us this week?
The person who invented marriage must have been really clingy.
It's kind of crazy. Like, it's really crazy, isn't it, in a way? You literally turn to somebody and go, I'm going to spend the rest of my life with you. Sign this paper. I now own half of you.
That is fucking beautiful. That's really tickled me. It's so true when you think about it. Like, I love you how much that I need you to sign this paper. We can only be separated by a court of law. Yeah, that's really clingy. Yeah.
That's the personal experience to take it. That's the way you just implied it then.
I want everyone to know that you're mine. I want you to wear this jewelry on your finger, and you, miss, will change your last name so it's the same as mine. It was invented by a man, wasn't it? It must have been.
It is. No. And then the only way it can be made official is, oh, well, the way to make it official is we have to fuck.
Definitely invented by a man.
Yeah. I need to put myself inside you, otherwise this becomes null and void.
That did used to be a thing, though, wasn't it? You could annul a marriage if you hadn't consummated the marriage. So yeah, that's crazy. That is.
Is that still a thing? It must still be a thing.
I don't know.
Do you know what I think's really shit?
Oh, I don't want to know.
I reckon the guy invented that side, the woman invented the prenup.
Oh, definitely. So
and she was like, well, actually, David, I'm going to say that you can't have any of my shit, and you can't have me unless you sign this piece of paper.
But if you do leave me, I'm having half of everything you've got, motherfucker.
Well, that's everything anyway. It should be everything. It'd be everything. And I'll take a lot. I'll even have your kidneys, your lungs, and you'll be dead, all right?
And even though we're divorced, when you do die, I get the rest and all, mate, because me and you, forever.
Yeah, it's just...
Yeah, it's a bit creepy now, thinking about it.
It is, yeah. It is bad shit. How did you meet? Oh, basically, I got a phone call. It was kind of weird. And he said, can you move the lamp? So I was like, yeah. So I moved the lamp out of the way, and then and then that was it. And then all of a sudden, he knocked at my front door. It was weird.
It's arranged marriages I can't get my head around.
So at this day and age, mate, I feel for that community.
Like, that has got to be so weird. Hi, meet this girl. Hi, you're getting married in a couple of weeks. Wait, what? Who the fuck? I don't know who she is. What?
Yeah, I used to work with some Specsavers who had to do that, and she was not happy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
At all.
It's a bit of a weird one. And it's been going on
it's
for
like,
a long time as well.
We tell you who you love. You don't decide for yourself. You have no choice in this.
It's not even a new thing, is it? It's like medieval times. It's like, I tell you what, if my son can marry your daughter, you can have half of my land. Sound.
Yeah, it doesn't. This is a weird state age. Not anymore. Not anymore. But we should definitely move on before we start touching subjects we shouldn't.
Probably.
What else is Callum treating us this week?
In the X-Men series, Cyclops' real superpower is his eyelids, as they stop his lasers cutting through people.
That is so true. Super strong eyelid. That is amazing. That is...
Oh, gee, he's going to kill me this week. Super strength eyelids. That is really true.
Why got you? How are you managing to keep those lasers at bay, Cyclops? So basically, I've got super strong eyelids. I have nothing else to add to this equation apart from the fact that I have amazing at closing my eyes.
Like I can't control what happens when I open them, so that's not really a superpower. It's more of a hindrance, if anything. But my power, these eyelids, strong as fuck, mate. Strong as folk.
God, it'd be. Do you reckon, right? If he went down on Jean Grey, she'd be shitting herself the entire time. You're gonna have to fumble, Scott. You're gonna have to fumble. Don't fucking open your eyes. Just find your way. You'll be all right.
Just use your hands, Scott. It's fine. Just don't open your fucking eyes. Whatever you do.
Oh God, you'd be unless he goes the same way, and then he starts sucking dick. Like, please, just don't fucking open your eyes, Scott. Whatever you do not chop that pee off. Chop it, pee. Sorry.
Imagine he gets down there and he's absolutely awful. She's like, this was not worth the risk-reward ratio. Bloody terrible.
Mind you, if he's having sex, when you get to the point of when you're about to ejaculate, you lose all control of yourself.
That's a very good point.
Yeah. So you might be like, fuck, that's the best orgasm I've ever had. Jesus Christ. Where's the house gone? Where's the house?
My roof's gone, but I feel fucking great.
That's such a mental. Because sunglasses worked as well, didn't they? He didn't have his eyes closed, saw with sunglasses on.
No, he had some like weird eye piece, didn't he? Did he have?
No, I meant when he's normal, when he's got sunglasses, he has sunglasses on.
I was going to say he has special sunglasses, doesn't he? Yeah.
Because you can't walk around with your eyes shut, surely.
No, I remember because I know he had the Cyclops goggle thing. I don't know what they're called, but
the visor, yeah.
But I swear, in the movies, he did just have sunglasses at some point, didn't he?
Yes,
he did, didn't he? Yeah, they must be some fucking strong sunglasses.
I'm gonna make you proud, Rabbi. Now, do you reckon Worf looked at him and went, "That looks fucking cool"?
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
It is Worf, isn't it? That has the gold visor.
Oh, you're Geordie.
Damn it,
Geordie. Close. But the fact I was still proud regardless because it was a Star Trek character from the correct season, so I was proud regardless.
Oh, really? Actually, okay, I don't actually know that.
It's fine.
I just winged it. I remember it being some wolf creature, and that's all I remember.
Yeah, Worf is the Klingon. Geordie is a human with dodgy eyes, so he has his little visor.
Okay, yeah, cool. All right, we'll move on before I make myself look even more stupid. And finally, Jamie, what else is Callum Treachings week this?
Do you think the Pope sits there knowing it's all bullshit and just sort of thinks, I have a crazy, wonderful life?
That's incredible. It's literally there. It's like, this is great. Right? You all think I can talk to God, and I just sit here and just enjoy life. This is great. And then every now and again I go to the window to talk to people just to tell them some random shit. You should all push a wheelbarrow on a Sunday between the hours of 12 and 2, only carrying a chimney. If someone needs said chimney, you take it to them. But if it goes past 2 p.m., you leave said wheelbarrow there. And as Jeremiah said to Judas, dogs and cats will mate eventually, but for now they shall still hate each other. For now we shall eat the rabbit from the breast of a duck. Only at 5 p.m. on a Tuesday, when the sun is at half mast. I could just say, well, you're a shitty believe it all anyway. So. Oh, my weird Pope wagon is here, where I sit in the box and you can all wave at me for no fucking reason whatsoever. Bless ye, and all that other shit. What season at Easter? Yeah, because of course rabbits bring chocolate, don't they?
That is literally the only job in this world where they literally go, we think this guy exists, so we need someone in charge. Let's give him a fuck ton of money and a big hat.
And a staff.
And a big staff.
Let's make him think he's a shit version of Sauron.
I'm sure that episode of Family Guy, they're trying to get him ready in the morning. I don't know one at a pulpit today. I just love the fact they vote in a pope by burning paper. It's fucking great. I love that
It's
so
so
much.
weird, man. Like, it's just like, oh, it's you today, Dave. You're going in. You know what? It's me. I'm Port now, man. Bloody hell, I'm only 24. Wonderful. I'll be around for ages.
But Dave, you got to change your name. It's got to be one of the disciples' names. All right, so go pick one.
Fucking hell, I'll be Marco, I guess. I'll be Marco, all right. You know, I'll just get shit-faced every day. Fucking amazing.
Drink wine. I do love the idea of that happening, though. Just the Pope sat on the toilet one day and be like, this is weird life, isn't it? Do you exist? Yeah. Fucked if I know.
This is amazing. Football's on a bit. Forza Italia! It's incredible. I get paid just to sit here and tell people bollocks. So,
what a job.
Callum, these are stellar this week.
Fucking
Absolutely
brilliant this week.
Stellar. Absolutely amazing. And as always, Jamie, this is the shit because I have to fucking follow this.
Yes,
every
you do.
Week.
Yes,
he
you
sets
do.
me up every single time. It's time for Tom's Journal.
Read to me.
And welcome to another edition of Tom's Journal.
You have to have a mental image of this. I might send you the picture just to prove my point.
Okay.
But don't you think kangaroos are just deer that have been to prison?
Why have you been to prison?
Because kangaroos are like, fucking come on then. Absolutely huge motherfuckers. And deer are like, hiya. Grass is nice.
It's a very good point.
Kangaroo's like, cool, you little fucking prick. I'll fucking smash your face in.
I like that.
Jamie, right? Bada bing! And I can't stress this enough. Bada boom.
Fuck's sake.
This was a conversation that I found from a dating app called Hinge, where you can put like comments or questions in and people can respond to them if they wish to do so.
Okay.
So I think this is the girl that said, I'll fall for you if you push me over. Okay? And the guy wrote, do you want to push each other over then? And she put, oh my God, yes, please. Literally, 2 hours have gone by. Okay? 2 hours, Jamie. Well, another brain dead fucking starting a conversation, not fucking replying. Why do you boys even have this? Like, why? What's the point? It's fucking annoying. To which she replied, I'm at work, Gemma. Calm down.
Dating apps are fucking weird. I'm so glad I never had to deal with that crazy ass world.
This is so true. This is so true. It's fatal to ask your family if they want a cup of tea.
Oh, yeah.
Starts a polite offer, and suddenly it's like you've clocked in for a shift at Starbucks.
Well, to be fair, unless it's my dad, you don't even get to offer. He just walks and goes, put a kettle on, son. Oh, I guess I'm making you a brew then, am I?
Thanks, Dad.
Thanks.
So, this is a genuine train sign.
Okay.
Penrith, the North Lakes. Keep back from the platform edge, or you might get sucked off. Don't threaten me with a good time.
They knew what they were doing when they made that sign. They must have known what they were doing. Blatant. That's the same guy that worked for the zoo last week. He's having a good time making signs everywhere.
You loved that, didn't you? You loved that last week.
I fucking did.
You thoroughly enjoyed that. Ghostface is the scariest movie villain of all time because he always wants to talk on the phone.
That is my worst nightmare. That's the scariest part of Scream to me. Someone phoning me, not being chased by a killer.
What are you ringing me for?
What's your favourite movie? Well, just text me.
Jamie, why do Americans refer to Europe like it's one whole country? When I went to Europe, where did you go, mate? Barcelona or Doncaster? when I went to Europe.
So true, though. Literally, it's
so
not
many
as
different
small
countries.
as America's makes out. Like,
So
like
good.
God, they're
That made me laugh.
backpacking around Europe. It's alone with Doncaster of all the places to pick.
But there is no truer, stronger bond between a British person and a cheap, colourful mug that got an Easter egg 24 years ago.
Yes. I was gutted the day my mini egg mug broke.
Oh, mini eggs. I think my mum still got hers.
Probably.
That and cream egg, and they had like really thin, and they had a weird, like, big lip at the top.
Yes. I wish I still had one of mine. And
This really
brown
made me
Smarties one. Sorry, I remember that one.
That's right. I don't remember that one at all.
Yeah, the brown Smarties mug. I remember people having those.
Nope.
No.
This really made me laugh. Muhammad Ali. Float like a butterfly. Jellyfish. Yeah, sure, done. Muhammad Ali. And stay like a bee. Jellyfish. Fuck, I'm nailing this. Bruce Lee. Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless like water. Jellyfish. Fuck, I could not be any more mindless or like water if I tried.
Jellyfish, the unsung hero of the ocean.
Is it?
Come on, you literally just said how it's like Bruce Lee and Muhammad Ali. It is.
Yes, it's very, very true. It is.
Come on.
The thing's invincible and it'll just kill you as soon as you touch it, and it's see-through.
Yeah,
mental.
honestly.
Such a mental fucking
and they're really
creature to
pretty
create.
good.
So I was in a restaurant. Waiter comes over with the cheese. Waiter, grating the cheese. Just say when. Me. Waiter, sir, that was an entire block of cheese. Me leaning in way too close. Yeah. Go get another.
That would be Becky's dad. That would be Becky's dad. I've seen that man have more cheese on his spag bowl than he has bowl. Like, it's an impressive amount of
Really?
cheese. Yeah, it's like that's to almost balance it as he walks into the room. Oh,
that's mental. Two more.
Mountain.
Next door's teenagers are at a party, playing all the current music and being generally cool. So my dad's linked his phone to their Bluetooth to play Agadoo and they can't turn it off.
Is there a more annoying party song than Agadoo?
But you know, we were talking about, weren't we? We're talking
Just
about
gonna
the Bernie
say,
song
yeah.
and the Music Man and stuff. Agadoo was another one.
Agadoo, do, put pineapple, shake the tree. Fucking annoying as anything that song is.
Enjoy that for the rest of the movie.
To the left, to the right. Yeah, it's already in my head. Just that.
And finally, Jamie, my favourite part of Kitchen Nightmares is when the people who applied to be on Kitchen Nightmares are surprised when Gordon tells them their kitchen's a fucking nightmare.
That is the one thing that's always baffled me with reality shows, and they act surprised about things like, you applied for this show. You know what is coming. You know what to expect. Why are you surprised?
Why are you keeping chicken in the oven? It's been there for weeks. But that's how I cook a chicken, and people love it. They love it. No, they don't.
This is not a normal? No? Is it not a normal?
This is how I always do things. Yeah, I think they're the greatest chef that's ever lived. And you're just like, what is wrong with you?
This is the greatest kitchen in the world. I'll apply for Kitchen Nightmares for him to come and say, this isn't a nightmare, this is a great.
I wonder if they do it just for the publicity.
Oh, yeah, blankly do it for the publicity.
Yeah. I think like 90% of the kitchens of the restaurants are all closed down now from that show.
Probably.
Like every series as well. Mental.
The cynic in me says, it's not actually that bad normally. They've made it worse just for the show, just to get themselves famous on there.
Do you reckon?
Do you want to be famous for having a shit kitchen?
Well, exactly. Exactly. And Jamie, we'll leave it there. And that was another edition of Tom's Journal.
And a beautiful journal it was.
Thank you so much, Sam. It's graciously appreciated. But I do believe that we should now bring in that piece.
Oh, we definitely should bring in that piece.
Let's bring the piece of resistance. Welcome to the Chronicles of Alex Segal.
Alex Segal is the Managing Director for InterTalent Agency, a talent agency group based here in the UK, in London. It's one of the biggest in the UK. This is a guest unlike anyone we have ever had before. This is absolutely amazing. This is such a unique interview for us. Like I said, like no one we've had before. It's amazing to see how behind the scenes works and the people that he has worked with. Some amazing people. Joan Collins, Wade Barrett from the WWE. I'm going to pronounce it wrong again. Omidjali?
Omidjali.
Yeah, see, I wasn't going to get that right if my fucking life depended on it. But all different people with different walks of life. And it's amazing to see how talent management has changed over the years, which is something we discussed with Alex. Yeah, this is so fucking good. I really, really enjoyed this one.
And he also looks after Jacqueline Jossa and Scarlett Douglas. So there's quite a vast array of people on the old books there. Alex is also a massive Tottenham Hotspur fan. So for new people that know football and enjoy listening to talk about, because I just like, I can't even get my words out, a conversation about Spurs, and you're in for a fucking treat. So yeah, and then my knowledge of football comes in with I haven't got a fucking clue what I'm talking about. So I should have left. I should have kept the guns in the holsters, boys. Look at the guns in the holsters. Alex, thank you so much for joining us on the show. We really appreciate it. If you take your time, I know how bloody busy you are. So it's massively appreciated. And I hope you guys enjoy this one. Jimmy!
Yes, sir.
Any of those words of yours at all that happen to be final?
Just a massive thank you to Alex. Really appreciate you coming on the show. And a little shout out to my friend Lisa, who I work with, who put me in touch with him. So really appreciate that as well. Thank you very much, Lisa.
Thank you so much, Lisa. We appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, interviewing this week, it's Alex Segal.
It's fine. Anyway, I digress. It's nice to meet you both.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on. Nice to see. We appreciate it after you smashed your hip to pieces. So
yeah, it's been a hell of a 4 months, I would say. Not quite what I was expecting, but that's. I'm pleased to be on this side of it. When you're at the beginning of it, you just feel like you're never ever gonna walk again and all that shit.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's amazing because when your back's against the wall and you have to come out fighting, you find this I don't know, whatever that you just didn't ever think you ever had, like this spirit. It just happens. You just have to get up and move your ass. it's yeah. I'm not made for the gym. That's not my natural habitat. But I've been in the gym more times than I care to count recently, and yeah, never would have thought that in a month of Sundays. So there we go. That's life. Anyway, if it's on your bucket list, breaking a hip, take it off. I've tried it. It's not all it's cracked up to be. Just move on to the next thing.
Oh, bless you, dude. Well, I mean, obviously, the physio is obviously the main thing, isn't it, at the end of the day? So as long as you're on the road to recovery, that's all that matters.
Yeah, man. Just got a slight limp left, a very slight one, and working hard to... it's funny because the bone heals relatively quickly. It's the muscles, after surgery, they kind of have to sort of cut through your muscles. That's what takes a long time. It's amazing. The other day, I started with a new physio. Bearing in mind, I've been off crutches since the beginning of Feb, so I was feeling pretty smug and happy. And she said, right, I'm going to test where you're up to. I just want you to hop on your leg, hop on your right leg. And I was like, oh, fuck, I've not thought about hopping. I was like, yeah, I can walk. I can speed walk. I can hop. This is easy. And she was like, go on then. Couldn't hop. Couldn't do one hop on my leg.
Shit.
Because it means, when you hop, it means putting all of your body weight, including your other leg, down that one leg. And it sounds so silly, but it just told her that my muscles in my leg definitely weren't strong as they should be. So it was amazing because I was like, in 4 months, I've never thought about hopping. And she was like, just hop once for me. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And then I couldn't do it.
So I can't say I've really thought about hopping since I was in junior school, so I get it.
No. And my 3-year-old was running, when I said it out loud, she starts hopping she's just taking the piss out of me. Just you know what they're like. So anyway.
So Jamie's going to lure you in with a really nice introduction. It's that sort of false sense of security type feel where you'd be like, do you know what? I'm actually quite happy I'm here. And then, like I said, we're going to fucking destroy you with questions. How does that sound?
It sounds like good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
I like that.
Jamie's good cop, Tom's bad cop. I can see how this is gonna go. Perfect. No problem. Can you hear me all right, by the way? Is the sound okay?
Yeah, great.
Yes, perfect, yeah.
Perfect.
Right, let's do this little intro. Ladies and gentlemen, this week we bring you a guest unlike anyone we have ever had before. As you know on this show, we don't just like to talk to people in the limelight, also those behind the scenes making things happen. Today's guest is a managing director for one of the biggest UK talent agencies, InterTalent, with a history spanning over 30 years. This company represents clients like WWE Stu Bennett, Omid Djalili, Ross Kemp, and even legends like Joan Collins and Boy George. Ladies and gentlemen, today we bring you the Chronicles of Alex Segal.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. I love that you led with Stu. That makes my heart feel warm and fuzzy because he's one of my favourite people, and he's based in America a lot of the time, so I don't get to see him that often. But he's one of my favourite. Are you both WWE fans?
Yeah, that's exactly why we led with him.
I love it. I love it. He's a great guy, and he's obviously doing a hell of a lot there now. Obviously on SmackDown and NXT before that, and he deserves it. He's very, very good, very good.
I wanted to do bad news commentary. That's what bad news Barrett for commentary all the time. It'd be great.
No, it's so like I don't know. I'm sure they try and entice him back into the ring, but I think he's very happy sitting there doing his thing, wearing a smart suit every week. It's a lot of traveling, obviously, all around the country. Whenever I'm talking to him, he's about to get on a plane somewhere. It's incredible the amount of air miles those guys rack up around the world, really. But no, he's a top guy. He's at 6'6", and I pretend I'm 5'11", but I'm not. I'm definitely more like 5'8", 5'9". So when we're together, it really is like little and large. But no, he's one of my favourite people for sure.
So I'm going to go a different way quickly. How tough is it being a Tottenham fan?
God, it's tough. It is tough. It's I've had a season ticket for, I'm 36, right? I've definitely had a season ticket for, I'd say 28 years now at Spurs. And every single year, we always end with, there's always next year. There's always next year. There's always next season. There's always next year. And yeah, do you know what? Things have been obviously pretty good the last 6 or 7 years, as opposed to the first years that I was doing under Jerry Francis and Christian Gross, and miserable times back then, George Graham. But so I can't really complain now. We just need to, we're just so, the consistency is incredible. Recently to beat Chelsea and Man City and then to lose to Sheffield United and Wolves, it's just, you just sort of pulling your hair out. But no, it's a lot of fun being a Spurs fan. It's a lot of misery at the same time. Who do you guys support?
Jamie's not a football fan.
Well, listen, I think you've done it well, because there's no misery. Because when Spurs lose, I'm done. Right? They get me more than anything. Like, I could have a bad day at the office, but I can leave that at the door. This can happen, that can happen. I can leave that at the door. But in terms of Spurs, if we lose, especially a game that we should win, don't talk to me for at least 36 hours. I am in a foul mood. I'm gone, absolutely gone. It honestly ruins my whole day. And I thought as I got older, I would care less. But weirdly, as I've got older, I seem to care more. And I don't know how that's happened. But Jamie, I think you've gone the right way about it, to be fair.
I was a Villa fan when I was a kid, but it just, I fell off. It never really took my fancy.
See, Villa the same as us. Average as they come, you don't care. I missed that chance to not care. I should have bowed out years ago. What about you, Tom?
I'm from Aberdeen, so I'm an Aberdeen fan. So I can't talk about anything being from the SPL because.
Do you not find that being a fan of a Scottish team that isn't Celtic and Rangers just really predictable, I guess, in terms of the outcome of things? Like, how do you feel?
I suppose so. I mean, we do give them a run for their money for about 10 minutes. and then obviously all hell breaks loose, and it's like, oh, okay, business as usual.
Got it.
But I kind of love it in a way. Like, I suppose because the Scottish fans are so passionate, it's insane.
And
so I prefer to watch the internationals more than the club games, to be honest.
And is it annoying that Aberdeen is mainly known for being where Sir Alex Ferguson started, as opposed to like they're Aberdeen? Oh, it's that club, and you're like, yeah, great.
All the way from the northeast that no one really gives a shit about. Next to Peterhead. Where's Peterhead? Who the fuck gives a shit about that?
I've never heard of Peterhead. There you go.
They're in like League 2, I think, in the Scottish division. So
yeah, that
makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
yeah.
Little slight to go. Let's move away.
Let's move away. What I would say though is Aberdeen's a proper football club. So you've got that. None of this Wrexham rubbish. Proper football club, Aberdeen.
Yeah, but where celebrities going to start buying everybody out now.
Who's the most famous fan of Aberdeen? Like, is there a celebrity fan?
Off the top of my head.
Besides you, Tom,
No.
clearly.
No idea.
So who do they parade out at half time? No one. Just the cleaner.
Yeah. Or like ex-players, I guess.
Yeah. Got it. Anyway, we digress.
Out. Yes. Anyway, sorry. Yeah. Let's get down to yourself, my friend. So how obviously have the last few years been with the pandemic and everything? How have the last few years been for you?
Oh, it's been tough. It's been interesting. InterTalent as a company has many different divisions, which allowed us, luckily, to sort of pivot slightly in two ways. So in our acting division, which is one of our main divisions, it was obviously terrible. West End was down, theatre across the country was down, TV and film sets were ground to a halt. So that was pretty bad. But in our sort of what we call unscripted division, which is TV presenters, radio presenters, podcasts, things like that. Obviously, a lot of that was able to continue, especially radio and podcasts, and TV found its feet pretty quickly. So I kind of likened it to that bit in the Titanic when half the ship is like underwater and the other half is beaming bright lights at the top. So that was kind of how it was. We had one side of the room like busy, thriving, and the other side of the room was just looking miserable with nothing to do. But we slowly worked through it as best as we could. The other thing we managed to do very quickly was pivot into the one thing that did take off around that time, which was NFTs. And I know obviously NFTs have had a bit of a dodgy time, but we managed to find ourselves with an NFT business that for at least 2 years, I would say, was thriving, and that kind of helped us. But no, it was tough because it was more the people. We've got a lot of clients here whose livelihoods were destroyed. There's Rishi telling everyone to retrain as plumbers or whatever he was doing at the time, and it was tough. And we were trying to make sure we didn't have to make anyone redundant, and everyone was having to take pay cuts. So we had it was a very difficult time, but I'm pleased to say we're through it, and every division is back thriving, and we've got 10 more people in our team now than we did back in 2020. We've just moved office to Soho to a bigger office because we needed it. So it feels like things are, it feels like a distant memory for sure. But yeah, it was pretty rough at the time.
Yeah.
I love hearing stories of people coming out of it the other end. Been like, yeah, it was shit, but we're here now. We're bad or better than ever.
Do you know what, Jamie? We obviously there are other talent agencies that are our competitors. I love them all as people. I've got a lot of friends there, but as companies, you want to be the most successful and win. And we saw that a lot of them were getting rid of their offices. Obviously, coming out of COVID, a lot of them were working from home full time, and of course, we now have a bit of flexibility in our team. But we were like, look. Our clients can't work from home. Stu doesn't work from home. He's got to get up and go. And so, you don't want your agent sitting on their sofa or working from their bedroom, and we felt very clearly that if we're going to make something of this company and go forward, we need to be seen and be here. And so whilst everyone else was sort of scaling down, we took the risk and started scaling up, hiring people, going into different worlds like the NFTs. You know, we've now moved into an office 3 times as big as the one we were in. You know, we're being bold because I feel like that's how we're gonna win. So yeah, so far so good.
Love it. So take us back to the days of young Master Segal. What did you want to be when you were growing up? Was it something completely different to what you're doing now?
Well, I didn't want to play for Aberdeen, but
Hilarious.
no, do you know what? I wanted to. Initially, I wanted to be a footballer because we all did, right? That's kind of facts. And then most people in this industry start on the whole by wanting to be an actor. Like that's kind of, you get there. And I had seen a few shows in the West End, from Les Mis to We Will Rock You to Guys and Dolls and other things. And I was just blown away with just the spectacle of it all. And I was like, yeah, I think I want to be an actor. And then gradually you realize that you're no good at it. I can remember very clearly, and clearly I've still got PTSD from this, but in sixth form at school, we were doing Grease, and I can't sing. I know I can't sing, but I auditioned thinking no one else can really sing either. And look, at the very best, I'd like to be a T-Bird, and at the very worst, I'll take Eugene, right? I'll take Eugene at this point, right? He doesn't sing. He's got some good lines. I'll take it. So I auditioned, and then obviously they put that on the board, don't they? They pin it to the board, very old school. And you start looking for your name, you scroll down. And I saw my name next to neither a T-Bird or Eugene. It was next to the words lighting operator. And that's like not even like behind the audience, right? Behind the audience. And not even like lighting director. I wasn't even tasked with creating lighting. I was just tasked with pushing the on and off button. And so I kind of at that point at 17, I was like, I'm not sure this is going to work out for me. You know, I think from that moment, I realized a life behind the scenes was going to beckon for me. I didn't know what, but that was definitely a moment in time where I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to have to rethink this whole situation.
Oh, bless you. I can imagine. It was Thursday, 10 a.m. I just had Weetos for breakfast.
Exactly. I can actually remember going up to the board and with all my mates who got like, you know, Rizzo and whatever. And I just, you know, the smile was the fakest smile I think I've ever given in my life of like, oh, I'm so happy. I get to not go to a single rehearsal and just push on and off and hope that my name's in the program.
You went on from there to do theatre production, didn't you? Like theatre producing.
Yeah. So after that moment, I started to get interested in the other side of things, but I couldn't quite work out what to do or what anything was, what any jobs were. And I found this course at Portsmouth Uni called Creative Arts, which was basically a bit of everything, a bit of acting, a bit of stage design, a bit of writing, a bit of film, just a bit of directing, a bit of everything. And I thought, you know what? I don't know what I want to do, but I know I want to be in this world. And I wanted to take it very seriously. So I got onto that course at uni. So I grew up in Essex, in Chigwell in Essex, and Buckcastle, and then went down to the south coast, which I absolutely love. Like I love my 3 years at Portsmouth. Albeit the only time it was worth going to the sea was in the summer, and no one's there in the summer, so it was pretty cold, and a stony beach. But other than that, I did love my time at Portsmouth. And yeah, I did creative arts, and I kind of. But funny enough, the one thing you didn't do on this course was producing, right? You did everything else. The producing came because I ended up putting on some shows at university and I really enjoyed it. And I was just like, you know, what's this? Is this a job? Like putting things on? And somebody said to me, yeah, it's a producer. And I was like, like a light bulb just went off and I was like, I'm going to be a producer. It's kind of like that moment from the producers, like from the film or the show, where I was like, right, this is what I'm going to do. And I loved it. And weirdly, my course did everything but that. But I loved putting on shows. And it just felt like the right amount of creativity and business. Quite liked it. I didn't see myself as a businessman at all. I had no business acumen in any way, shape or form. I wanted to be in a theatre. So anyway, I went down that path, and at the end of my degree, having done great musicals in the theatres there and loving it, I found a producing degree at Central School of Speech and Drama, which was the most overwhelming. If I have to think of what has been the most overwhelming sort of career experience, was doing my 1 year at Central was pretty overwhelming. I don't know if you guys have heard of the school, but it's one of the biggest sort of drama schools in the UK. And when you go there, it's in North London. When you go there, in the stairs on the way up outside, engraved in the stairs are the names of people that had been at that school, right? And so Laurence Olivier is on the steps, Dawn French is on the steps, Graham Norton's on the step, Gail Garcia Bernal's on the steps. Like, so many people are on these steps. And I went there, and just walking up the steps every day gave me the jitters. But I went there and had a great year. I was the youngest person there. The oldest was 50. We had about 18 different nationalities in my class. And I felt like I didn't have any life experience compared to all of these guys and girls. There were some amazing actors there. Kit Harington was there whilst I was there. Like, there were some amazing people there. And it was quite an overwhelming year doing especially when you're not there for 3 years. Like, they love the BAs, right? The MAs were a bit like, whatever, the BAs were there. So, but to be fair, it gave me so many contacts, and probably without going to Central, I don't think I'd be here at all. But I was focused on being a theatre producer. I'd done a few bits and bobs in between being there. I'd worked at the Old Vic for a bit, which was amazing. It was the time when Kevin Spacey was running it. I know I can't really say that anymore, but it was the time when Kevin Spacey was running it, and he had all of these different schemes going on, and all these different schemes going on. And it was just great. I absolutely loved it. And I just wanted to be a theatre producer, but I wasn't, most theatre producers, or some of them, obviously have very deep pockets, and I didn't. It's all about raising investment, finances, etc. That ended up being a lot more about the job than the creative side, really, because without raising the money and without being able to financially put on the show, it doesn't matter how creative you are, you got nothing to show. So but I have to say it was I loved it. For the short time I was in theatre production afterwards at different companies, working in the West End in London, your office being a West End theatre for a bit, it's pretty like insane, especially when I think about, I was only like 21, 22, 23, and just assisting on shows and whatever, and thinking that back at 15, 16, I was watching these shows and it was wowing me. I was like, it was a dream come true at the time. But it didn't last long. I didn't stick around very long. But I stuck around as much as you stuck around with Aston Villa, Jamie, by the sounds of things. So, yeah. But it was pretty cool. I have to say.
Just going back to Portsmouth a second. Who looks at a beach and goes, I know what that needs? Pebbles.
It was like, do you know what? Uni's what you make of it, right? Where did you guys go to uni?
Yeah, I went to Nottingham.
Oh, Nottingham's a great place to go to uni. My brother was at Nottingham Trent. Although you have to cop when you say Trent, right? Because you want to make people think it's Nottingham. See, like Nottingham.
I was at Trent.
Oh, you were at Trent.
Yeah.
Just the lies of people that went to Nottingham Trent. No one owns up to it ever. I feel so bad for that university.
I loved it there. It was great. It's a great city, incredible city. There's some questionable places there, but it's still a great place.
Did they call it Shottingham at one point? Was that a real thing?
Yeah, that's what I remember. I remember walking out my halls once, and the police stopped me and went, "Sorry, where are you going? And why are you on your own?" I was like, "Well, I was going to the shop. It's there." Yeah, can you get back inside, please? Okay.
Oh my God, it's Nottingham. Yeah, Nottingham's a great place, but uni is what you make of it, and I think that it doesn't matter where you go. Like, you can have the best time or the worst, and obviously, you probably had this, right? In your first year, there are people that just drop away, that pull out within the first year. And I'm sort of, at the time I was like, why are they not seeing what I'm seeing? Because I'm loving my life, going to writing class and film class, and we're watching all these films and studying them and theatre, and I was just like, man, this is amazing, like this is incredible. but it is what you make of it. And I was definitely someone who was known as, I was definitely a big fish in a small pond, right? You know, I was one of the only ones, there's a few others who really took it seriously and wanted to actually make a career out of this. A lot of people chose creative arts because they had to go to uni and there was nothing else to choose. And it sounds like that kind of DOS subject that you just want to do. And I remember one girl, we were meant to be doing a show on a Tuesday night, and I'll never, it's a true story. And we were meant to, or rehearsals, we were meant to be doing something on a Tuesday night. This is for her degree. And she went to the lecturer and said, can I miss it? Because I can't miss Holby City on a Tuesday. Can I go and watch it? And I was like, what? And I was just like honestly, like, she literally refused to miss Holby City on a Tuesday.
What?
And I was like, mate, this is the show. Like,
does an iPlayer exist?
Not in, no, man, I'm old. Not in 2005, 6, but VHS existed. You could have pressed when you had to press the play and the record button at the same time?
Yeah.
You know, and then you had to I used to record episodes of Dream Team like that. I used to record Dream Team on Sky One and watch it and then record the next week's over. Harchester United, great show. But Footballers' Wives had nothing on Dream Team, but that's a different conversation. She wanted to watch Holby, so I definitely made it. But no, Portsmouth was amazing. It was just freezing, absolutely freezing.
Yeah.
That French wind. That's not a euphemism either. That French wind was coming in, big time. But yeah.
So before we talk about your work in talent management, I feel we should clarify for those who don't really know, what exactly is the role of a talent agent? What sort of services do you provide?
Sure. So obviously, as we go on and the digital world has come to it, there are so many different areas of managing of talent, right? It used to be, predominantly actors, and now then TV presenters and radio presenters, and then, you've got music and comedy, and now all of a sudden you've got content creators and influencers and podcast hosts, and lots of people have agents. My job, really, and the job of any talent agent or manager, is to represent their client and create opportunities for them. It's a very creative and business job. I'm there trying to create jobs for them. I'm there negotiating their deals to do the job. Hopefully they'll have a publicist, but if they don't, we'll do a bit of that as well. And also protect them. I think that like any freelancer in any line of work, when you're dealing directly on something, people can take liberties sometimes. And my job is there to make sure that they're treated right, things go swimmingly. And ultimately, it's to progress their career, right? It's about the relationships that I have, the knowledge I have, the experience I have, the company, and representing talent who I believe in and I think are really talented. And I think that when I realized that I wasn't going to be talent myself, I realized that I knew what talent was. I knew you have to have a clear taste as to who you think is talented and go out and try and sign them. So, it's a really full-on job. Every day is different. You never know who you want to approach and who approaches you. Obviously, you're there. 1 minute you're negotiating a deal. Next minute you're putting them out. Next minute you're doing the PR with that newspaper. Next minute you've got a call from the Sun newspaper because your client's been in trouble. Next minute you're going to their opening night, or you're going onto a set to watch them film something. So it's a very... it's obviously, depending on who you represent, it can be obviously quite a glamorous experience. I'm very fortunate. I get to go to the BAFTAs, I get to go to the NTAs, I get to go to the Olivier's, I get to go to LA, I get to do all of that. But I do spend the majority of my day at my desk, in the office, on emails, sending hundreds back and forth on the phone. And it's a very 24/7 job. It is not a 9 to 6 job. I'll get calls at midnight, I'll get calls on the weekend. That's just the nature of the beast. And the thing is about talent management is that it is a team and it is a collaboration between you and your client. But at the end of the day, if you can't meet their needs, it is still show business. It's not show friends. If you can't meet their needs, then they'll probably try and find somebody that can. You have to, if they're running at 100 miles an hour, you've got to run at 150. That's just the way it goes. So, there's no degree for it, and there's no a lot of people get into it because they are ex-performers, or they've been in media maybe in some other way, or in PR in some other way. But it's a very it's a cool gig if you have the right clients. If you don't have clients that are wanted, right, it can be quite a tough gig as well, because you're only making a percentage of what they make, and if they're not making anything, then obviously it's a tough spot to be in. Which is why COVID was tough for us, because, none of our clients in our acting division were making any money, and therefore we don't make any money. It's as simple as that. It's a lot of fun, but it's definitely not entourage as a lot of people hope it is. There's not as many pool parties, but it's not too dissimilar, realistically.
No, you're gonna have to count me out the nights. I'm not interested. No joking. So how did you then transition from theatre producing to talent agency? What made you want to make the jump?
What was I doing? I'd done a few. It's all right when you work for production companies, big, powerful production companies, because, they've got the money, they can pay you. But I was starting to do some shows freelance with some other producing friends, and we did a show called Well, which is really hard to say in an Essex accent. Well, 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 which was an American play that was brought over. And we had the opportunity to do it in a very small theatre near Trafalgar Square, 100 seats. And it was quite a small little play as well. It was all set in the same set. It wasn't, it was a cast of like 4 or 5. We had the brilliant Natalie Casey from 2 Pints of Lager and a Packet of Chris in the lead role. We had Oliver Chris, who's been on to do some amazing things as well. And it just worked brilliantly. Like, it was so good, and I was enjoying my time. But I kept thinking, like, I've got nothing lined up. Like, this is just, like, as soon as this is done, all the fanfare of being in the West End, I'm now back at home at my parents' house doing nothing. And then we got given the opportunity to do it for a month in a much bigger theatre, one of the main theatres in the West End, the Apollo, which is like probably an 800 seat, 900 seat theatre. Same thing. And it just didn't work. It was a great education of, like, not every play works in every venue, if that makes sense. And it just didn't work. We still got 100 people coming, which is all right when you only have 100 seats, but when you have 800 seats, not ideal. And it went from 5-star reviews to 1-star reviews, and I was like, this is shit. Like, this is not what I want. And I had nothing else lined up. And I don't know, I was just starting to think that fundraising, getting investment for plays was a pretty, like, awful life and experience. Like, it was a slog raising money. Asking anyone for money, even if it's a $5 to buy some chocolate, is not fun. And so I just was like, you know what, I'm out. But then my dad said to me, so I'm from a family of agents. My uncle was a football agent, my cousins are football agents, and my granddad, my dad's dad, was a music manager back in the sort of 40s, 50s, 60s. And he said to me, like, all right, you love acting and you love actors, but, like, why don't you try being a theatrical agent and being in an office? And I was just like, Dad, you don't know me at all. I want to be in a theatre. You've got no idea. But to appease him, and because I had nothing else going on, I applied for an internship at one of the biggest agencies in London, and I got it. And yeah, never looked back. I just sort of fell in love in those 3 months that I was there. It was just like, my eyes just opened, and, like, that was it. I was just like, this is what I want to do. Like, the great thing about this is that everyone else has to have the money, and they come to me with it rather than the other way around. I was like, this is genius. So I very quickly loved it. And it was a top acting agency. They represented, and they still do, Robert Pattinson and Dev Patel, and just amazing actors. And it was like, whoa, my eyes opened. And I very quickly, that was only an internship, but I very quickly found an assistant position at another top agency. This one was much more boutique. There was only 10 of us. The 3.5 years I was there, it was always nine females and me. And I loved it. It was a tough experience, like a really tough experience. But this agency represents Daniel Radcliffe and Liam Neeson and Jimmy Nesbitt and Adrian Lester and all these amazing, Imelda Staunton, all these amazing actors. And I worked with them, all of them, for 3.5 years, you know, I was the assistant to the big boss of the company, and it was just like the intensity was high, the pressure was super high. You couldn't muck anything up ever. The problems were bigger. The success was bigger. You know, this was when Daniel, for example, was at the sort of doing Harry Potter 6 and then 7.1 and 7.2. Like the stakes for him were so high, and Liam was obviously doing the Taken films, and just everyone we were working with was just, it was unreal. And I just fell in love with working with such talented people, and, you know, being part of their journey, you know, and being behind the scenes and pitching them for jobs and negotiating on jobs and going with them to things. And I don't know, so I started off as an actor's agent. That's how I started. You know, that was, you know, I did 3.5 years there, and it was like money can't buy experience. It was just like, and when you're young, because I was definitely early 20s then, you know, it just feels like the best job in the world, like getting to work with these people, even though they weren't my clients. And if I left the next day, they'd move on to the next assistant. Like they're very nice, and they were all great people. But, you know, I replaced somebody replaced me, you know, you just move on. It's your boss, the one that's the important one. And, you know, but at that time, I mean, like, I don't know if I had an ego, I probably did, but, you know, working with those people, you're just like, oh yeah, this is great. But more importantly, I got my head down and I worked hard, and made a lot of friends. It's all about relationships, and you just make a lot of friends. And I remember I was one of the first agents at the time, sort of 2009, to be on Twitter and talking about it. And that's how I ended up at this company, because my then boss of this company, InterTalent, found me on Twitter. We were chatting over Twitter, and I was impressed with sort of what he was doing, and he was impressed with what I was doing. And that's how we first connected, weirdly, back in the day. But yeah, working with those people and getting to bump into them from time to time, even still now, is pretty, it reminds me of those days of like just epic. But to be fair, you know, as I say, I'm from a family of agents, and maybe it's in the genes, I don't know. It's just weird. You know, there's a lot of us in our family that do it. Yeah, I mean, look, they're all football agents, so maybe I should have done that, because I'd probably be on an island in the Bahamas now rather than chatting to you two. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Have you ever wanted to randomly just like have the phone ring and go, "Sorry, boys, niece is calling. Won't be a minute." All right.
Haven't done that. Do you know what? It's I don't know. Now you try, and to be fair, when I was in my early 20s, I probably wouldn't have told everyone who would listen to me that I was working with those guys. But now, where I'm at now, you know, I always say the word client. I never say the names, and like you have, you know, you kind of just grow up.
Love it.
But yeah, who can blame you at that age being very? But I think it was hard because it was a bit dog eat dog. Like, as I say, like working with those people, they were great. But when you work with like top production companies and top studios or channels, and my boss at that time, and she still is one of the biggest agents in the UK bar none, you know, and cool, you have to like, yeah, you can't, if you're given a task or you're in charge of something, you better see it through. It's not it wasn't a fun experience when I got things wrong, put it that way. But it was quite tough. It was quite tough, and you know, but you know, I guess whenever you leave any job, you sort of take the things you want to take into the next job, and you obviously go, you know what, I'd never do that when I'm in that position. Yeah, but no, it was pretty and then, you know, my dad ultimately did know right, and that's exactly what I fell into. And I just love the fact that it's so creative, but also it's very entrepreneurial. You know, it's a nice mix.
So obviously you're saying you met your current boss on Twitter and moved up, but what made you want to make that move in the first place? Was it the pressure from the other job, or something completely different?
Do you know what? A little bit, I would say, I was not enjoying it as much. I was definitely starting to get the Sunday dreads. You know, you don't want to, you're thinking, oh God. And he used to have to read like 3 scripts every weekend, and that was, oh God, that was tough. And then you have to, by Monday morning, you have to do a breakdown of each script, every character, the synopsis, who we think we might have for it, who's casting it. And 3 of them, reading this 100-page, that's 300 pages on a weekend. Like, it was intense. So I was starting to fall out of love with being there, albeit I still love the job. But it was tough. You know what? When I'm, coming to, we weren't called InterTalent at the time, we had a different name, but coming to this company, my then boss, it took 3 attempts to lure me over, because I wanted to come, because they were big in unscripted, as we call it, but sort of on the rise in scripted. So nowhere near the kind of clients that I've been working with at my last place. But I like the fact that I could have a say, and I'd be a bigger cog in a smaller wheel, I guess, and actually make an impact. I think one of the things that I found difficult at my last place was, ultimately, my boss is the ruler of the kingdom. They're her clients. I could see a few people being promoted, but they were still acting like they were assistants. And I just thought, you know what, if I stay here, I'll keep waving everyone else's flag. I never wave my own flag. And I just thought, now's the time. But it took 3 times, because leaving that big of a company and leaving those clients that I were assisting on, it's very difficult to do. And I get it, when we try and lure people over in similar positions at other big agencies who are assisting big names and they're reluctant to leave, I get it. But ultimately, I keep saying to them, they're not your clients. You need to make your own Daniel Radcliffes and your own Liam Neesons, and that's kind of stuck with me. But it took my ex-boss 3 attempts to lure me over, and then in 2012, I kind of like had the balls. I kind of got the balls to do it, and I'm so pleased I did, because 10 years later I'm still here, and obviously I run the company now. So it's been an insane journey, but yeah, it wasn't easy, and there's I remember somebody telling me when I was leaving that you'll never be at a company this good again, and you'll never do this, and you'll never do that, and you'll be back, and all that stuff. And it just, horrible, isn't it? Like, pleased I did it, and to come over to here, for sure.
And then obviously made the youngest managing director in the 30-year history after 8 years. So it's basically like a big...
I do like to remind my chairman that I was 5 when he started the company. That doesn't go down well ever. No, I started at InterTalent. At the time, they had a different name, and I was representing actors. So I started with no one. It's so daunting, because I'd grown so many relationships at this big agency, and I was like, well, when I move, they're going to sign with me. They're going to sign with me. They're going to sign me, and no one did. Because they were all like, they loved me when I was at this last place. And then you move to a place that was great in other worlds, but in acting world was, as I say, on the rise. And they were a bit like, yeah, I'm all right. And, I'll wait. I love you. I do want to work with you, but let's come back in a year. Let's see. And, when everyone says that, you're like, oh my God, I'm going to get like, and I started on day 1 as an agent with no clients. And I was terrified. I was just like, and the first 3 or 4 people that I banked on, I told my boss they're going to sign with me. And I was like, they're coming. They've told me they're coming, and none of them came. And they were all like, they were all flighty, right? They were like, yeah, and they never came. And I was just like, I can be the best negotiator of all time, but if I'm negotiating absolutely nothing, what is it all for? So. The first few weeks, I was scared, really scared. But then the first one joined, and weirdly, she joined from the company I interned at, back at the beginning. And I was like, oh, yes, one. And then I inherited a few people, and I was like, great. And then I just had to basically build. But I had a client list that ranged from Shakespearean actors at the RSC to Vinnie Jones, who I still look after now. And, that first year I was definitely a loss-making exercise, like 100%. Like that first year, I thought, if I'm not being made redundant now, I'm being made redundant pretty soon after this, because I think I definitely brought in less money than they were paying me. But, I think I spoke a good game and I showed promise, and obviously I had great experiences and they kept with me, and yeah, you just grow it. And then, to be fair, I got to 2019 and I just decided I didn't want to work with actors anymore. It's a tough gig working with actors. And I just loved what everyone else was doing, TV presenters, radio presenters, brands, like just loved it all, sport. And I was lucky that I'm at this company that has different divisions, right? We have 6 different divisions, and I just sort of tried to pivot. And it came at a good time for me and the company. The company was letting go of a lot of agents in that unscripted world. And they needed to bolster that division. I also had a client in Emily Atack who I'd had for a long time, who, we both had the same sort of feeling at the time about acting. She wasn't quite getting the roles that she, to be honest, should have got, and she was putting in great performances and great auditions, and she was too famous for some things and just not famous enough for other things. And she decided to do I'm a Celebrity. I managed to get her I'm a Celebrity. She decided to do it. And at the same time as her coming out and becoming a TV presenter and other things, it allowed me to then get into that world. And she smashed it so brilliantly that everyone wanted to speak to her. And I was just like, I could learn this whole world very quickly. And so I spent 2019 just sort of pivoting away from acting. And yeah, now I represent TV presenters and, radio hosts and other types of talent, and then was made MD of the company in 2020 during COVID 2020, which is a tough way to start, but so yeah, it's been a bit of a whirlwind. I do miss a good theatre night out and a opening night and all that, but I've got to be honest, when they're off to Stratford upon Avon or to watch 4 hours of Henry V, I'm like, yeah, I'm all right. I'm really all right. I do remember it was like 2018, and I had a client who was doing like Richard II at the Globe in London, and the seats are awful. They're just made of wood, and it's like cold because it's obviously open air, and nobody wanted to come with me. And I was just watching 3.5 hours of this, and I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I think I'm done.
I can't say
I blame you.
What exactly how do you define not famous enough, though? How does somebody define
it's shit, isn't it? It's awful. Yeah. I think, do you know what? Because, profile is more important than ever, right? And people are always now looking at, not your CV, but how many Instagram followers you have and how many you've got on TikTok and, what's your engagement like, and all of that. And I think it's a miserable way of doing things. But, Emily, for example, had obviously been on The Inbetweeners. Obviously, she was excellent in it. Brilliant show. But, we had done a few films that didn't quite land. We did the remake of Dad's Army, which was meant to be huge, and it was all right. Had a great cast. Toby Jones, Catherine Zeta-Jones was in it. Bill Nighy was in it. And then we did a Disney film with Jennifer Saunders. And some people felt that the girl from The Inbetweeners was exactly what we wanted. And a lot of people think that the girl from Inbetweeners isn't enough of what we wanted. And sadly, it wasn't about how good an actress she is, because she is. And it wasn't about the CV, which was amazing. It was just about, we're going to get on the Daily Mail online, I guess. It's kind of it. It's really difficult.
It's almost concerning in a way that it's not down to skill anymore. It's not down to, the ability to act. It's who's following you on Instagram then? How many have you got? 10,000?
Yeah, I would say that talent is maybe fourth on the list, third on the list. I think that it's important. Of course it's important, but it's definitely one of many things. The world's changed a lot, even in my sort of, I don't know, whatever it is now, 13 years from start to finish of doing this. It's definitely changed a lot. And it's only going one way. But especially, now we've got the streamers, and now we've got, obviously, everything's online, and, the way that social media is, like, all these people that make so much money, and I really can't tell you what their talent is. And I think that's one of our things. We've got this motto which is transforming careers for exceptional talent. And whenever we think about a new client, I know exceptional talent feels quite a dramatic way of saying it, but like, they have to be talented if they join us. I don't care what the talent is. I don't care if it's that they're a great Shakespearean actor or they're just a brilliant athlete, or like Stu. Stu is a fantastic wrestler with a great personality and great charisma on the mic, and we've hosted a few things now. I don't care what it is. It's just about the talent. And we have a lot of great development clients who have come through the ranks, the Stephen Bartlett's, the Chelsea Grimeses of this world, talented people. But I do scratch my head when I see people getting this and that, and I sort of look and just go, I don't get it. I just don't get it. But, we have to have such young people in our office, because even our staff who are in their mid-20s are too old for the things that the 17-year-olds are loving. So our head of esports last year, at the time, was 19, right? And he said to me that he'd been working in esports for years. I was like, when did you start working in esports? He was like 12. What? I was like, what the hell?
Hey,
what the hell? I could be your dad. Like,
what the fuck? When I was too busy playing Nintendo and just being an idiot.
Yeah,
I'm not thinking career choices.
12. So by the time he got to 19, he's like the Don. I mean, he's like, he was running our esports division 3, and he's now gone off to do something else. But like, yeah, and
fair play then.
Yeah, like, it's mad. And even at 36, I feel like I'm trying to keep hold of what's happening.
Yeah. We're all the same age here, so I think we're all it's getting to that point now where when kids say words and you go, I have no idea what you just said to me. You've gone past school.
Yeah.
You're now at like the parent side where parents aren't cool anymore.
I don't know about you, but the main podcasts I listen to outside of worky ones and obviously true crime ones, because we're all on those, right? The ones that I listen to are the nostalgia ones, like everything about the 90s. I'm in, right? I'm like one of 4 people that I definitely think 4 people that listen to this Mighty Ducks podcast, right? Don't ask me why. It just makes me think of my youth, and there's definitely more people hosting it than there are listening to it, I would say. And I just, all of that stuff, like, there's that amazing football podcast, Quickly Kevin, that's all about 90s football. And, I love nostalgia, but I'm like, when I say things in the office, like when I said earlier about pressing play and record at the same time to record something, or you do that when you want to record a song off the radio on the cassette. Like, people are just looking at me in this office like I'm an idiot. Like, genuinely, it's mad. It's mad. But that doesn't feel like that long ago.
No, it really doesn't.
Do you remember we had to rewind film?
Yeah. And do you remember the VHSs? Do you remember the VHSs where there was that little square bit at the front where if you took it out, you could never record over it?
Yes. Yeah.
It was there for life.
Or you could sellotape a bit of paper over it and you could record over things.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Jamie, where were you 15 years ago?
Cheapskate. Birmingham, that's where I was.
No. The problem is I should have kept them, because all these people are like selling them, aren't they? For like proper, like original Nintendos and stuff, like the SNES.
It's nuts.
Yeah. It's mad.
I did just want to go quickly back to something you said earlier when we were talking about Emily, because I wonder this every single year. How on earth does a talent agent sell someone on going into that jungle? Like,
what? Sell it to the show,
go in
or sell
here,
it to them?
Sell it to them like, hey, I've got this great opportunity. You can go in a jungle, live in squalor, and eat animal testicles. How do you fancy doing that?
Do you know what? I've had, I think, 10 clients do I'm a Celebrity. It's kind of my show. And it's and last year I had Boy George and Scarlett Douglas do it. The year before I had Naughty Boy. Arlene Phillips also did it. Emily, Jacqueline Jossa. We've had Georgie Porter. We've had a few do this. Do you know what? For me, it's the biggest show on UK TV, bar none. outside of things like sport and stuff like that. But it's the biggest show on television. And I think it's the number one show to change a career overnight, put it that way. I think Strictly has the ability to do it, of course. Outside of that, I'm not sure what else does, but I'm a Celebrity. If you play it right and you come across well, you literally have the ability to come out and just rocket fuel your career. Emily did it. Jacqueline's done it. Joel Dommett did it. Adam Thomas did it. Obviously, Stacey Solomon. Skylar Moffat is one of my clients, did it. When you get it right, Roman Kemp, it just works. And I think that it's not really a hard sell. If somebody doesn't want to fly 24 hours or doesn't want to be on the top of a building or eat kangaroo testicles, then you need to have that conversation. But realistically, everyone wants to do it, and only 11 or 12 get to do it every year. And it's not even the money you'll make if it goes well. You'll make infinitely more money than you ever would actually doing that show. And it's just one of those shows that can change your career overnight. And it's really good. Like you said, Ant and Dec are the best for a reason, and it's really good. But no, I think for me, you have to be on the same wavelength. Just speaking more specifically about an agent and a client relationship, you've got to be on the same wavelength. You're not going to be able to represent somebody if you disagree with where you should be going or what kind of show you should be doing. So if I've got interest from I'm a Celebrity about a client, I'm only discussing them on the basis that I think that they will want to do it. 9 times out of 10, you should be on the same wavelength. Every now and then, maybe something will come along that you don't think is right and your client does, or vice versa. But my day is spent, really, it's a selling job, right? We sell. Some people sell chairs, some people sell tables. I sell other people, and and it sounds, and we have buyers, and our buyers are Disney, and it's ITV, and it's BBC, and it's TikTok, and it's brands, and or big podcasts or radio stations. Like, we sell our talent. We have to know who the buyers are. We have to agree who the buyers should be. We have to have a short-term plan, a long-term plan, and we have to go out there and make it happen. And what's exciting is having versatile clients. If you have clients all in the same world, you might become the king or queen of that world, but I don't know, it gets a bit samey. I love the fact that I have documentary filmmakers, I have entertainment stars, I have people on radio, I have WWE wrestlers, I have and really exciting up and comers who are yet to really cement where they sit in this industry. But it's pretty cool when you've been working on something that you've really been involved in from the very get-go. Maybe sometimes it's been my idea, my client's idea, but we've worked it, and it comes to fruition, and then the world gets to see it, and then slag it off. But no, the world gets to see it, and that's pretty cool. Like, you're making an impact on their lives, and you're making an impact on culture in this country, creating ideas that end up on the BBC. That's pretty cool. So, and then, that people might love it, people might slag it off, might get good ratings, might not, but that's kind of out of your control. You just have to try and pick the best jobs for your clients with them, and you won't always get it right, but if you've gone into it for the right reason, it's not just a money job or whatever, then you won't have any regrets, even if it doesn't rate particularly well. But these are the things that we all think about outside of you guys and anyone else watching TV shows is how is it rating? What's it up against? Who's watching it on iPlayer or whatever streamer it might be? How much love went into it? When somebody does slag off a show, it's difficult because a lot of people work on that, it's very difficult when things don't get recommissioned for another series, or it gets 1 star from the Telegraph. It's pretty that's rough. So my day, I get a lot of good calls and a lot of bad calls and a lot of maybe calls and a lot of let's pencil them calls, and but the fun outweighs the sort of bad side of it. I think you have to, as an agent, try and stay grounded, because if you ride the highs too high and the lows too low, that's quite erratic to live your life like that. And it's not very healthy. So you have to kind of stay balanced, because the call you get at 10 a.m. might be an amazing call that your client's got a job, and the call at 10 past 10 might be that your client didn't get, the other client didn't get that job. So you have to sort of keep yourself a bit balanced, because it can be quite a roller coaster of emotions day to day. My client might, I might have a client leave me, and I might sign a new client. Like, it's just it's very unstable at times. So you have to keep yourself quite grounded. You never know what's going to happen in your day. But that's why it's a lot of fun. I love that. I love when people say, "What are you doing today?" that I have actually no idea. And I could end up anywhere. Like last week, my boss at 4:00, my chairman said to me, "This thing might happen. We might have to go to Bristol tonight," bearing in mind I'm in London. And I'm like, right, let's do it. And your day just takes a turn. Or if there's a crisis and you've got to cancel a meeting because something's happened somewhere, you have to get there. So it's a lot of fun, but also a lot of stress, I guess. I think a lot of the people that struggle in our industry is because it is 24/7 and the stress levels are quite high, and it's quite a difficult people business a lot of the time.
I'm very conscious of time, so obviously we'll start wrapping up shortly. But I did want to say, like from what you're saying, what you do is absolutely incredible. Like you're basically helping people achieve their dreams, and that is phenomenal. And I don't think that can go understated. And it's why we like talking to people who work in the background, like I said.
Whenever I have clients that are moaning at something, can I put them on the phone to you and can you just tell them that I'm doing that? That Alex is a dream maker, and you should just be happy. Nonetheless,
yes. We'll have it as your little voicemail thing.
Thank you. It is pretty cool. Yeah,
it's awesome. Mr. Stevens, do you have any more questions for our wonderful guest?
I do. Alex, when you first started out with the whole working in theatre, being in Portsmouth, getting pissed off that the beach has got pebbles rather than sand, and that sort of thing, and obviously having to support Tottenham, who are allergic to trophies. Yeah. Did you ever think that when you first started out, this is where you would be today, right now, doing this at 36?
Yes and no. No, because it took a while for me to come out of my shell. I definitely was an introvert for all of being at school, really shy. And then I sort of found myself at uni. I sort of felt like this is where I belonged. So I don't think on one hand, I don't, but on the flip side, I just wanted it so much. I just cared so much. I care now. I care now to be the best agent in town. I look at other agents all the time. I listen to them on podcasts. I read their interviews. If they're doing a talk somewhere, I'll go and listen to them. I might, they might be my competition. I'm always listening and always trying to learn. I'm always looking at agents in other worlds, in football. I'm a big basketball fan in basketball and other things. And I'm always trying to tell my team. I've got a team of 30. I run a team of 30, and read more and read this book and read that interview and read that article. And I'm just trying to, So on the one hand, did I think I'd be the MD of a top talent agency at this point? Absolutely not. And imposter syndrome is a real thing from time to time, of course. On the flip side, I just I didn't just never let it go. I just wanted it so much. But I still don't think I've made it. I still don't think that I'm anywhere near the agent that I want to be, or that I'm happy to now sort of I still feel like I've got too much left to achieve. I'm never satisfied, ever. And the problem is, as an agent, is when you get a great bit of news, or you get that you watch that great gig, you just have to move straight on to the next. And you don't actually really get a huge amount of time to go, oh my God, that was great. I do keep everything. I keep every ticket, every program, from everything I do and everything I go to, just so one day I can hopefully stop and look back and go, that was pretty cool. But yeah, you don't ever really stop. You're just on this treadmill and you keep going. But yeah, it's I do love it. And I want my team to love it as much as I do. I think that's the key. I've not got the Sunday dreads in 10 years. I I love my weekends, but I love my weeks just as much. Like I'm happy for the weekend, but I'm also happy for the week to start at the same time. I'm pretty chill. So normally because Spurs have lost, I'm ready for the week to start just to sort of, you know, pass the time again until the next one. But
it's all good. You smashed Forest, so you're okay.
This time, not last time, but this time. But yeah,
incredible. Before we let you go, Alex, do you have any plugs, social medias, websites, anything you want people to go check out?
I don't know. Sort of our company's InterTalent. So if you search InterTalent on Twitter or Instagram or anywhere, you'll see everything about what we do. I'm Alex_Segal, Segal on Twitter. No, not really. Just want people to watch stuff. Like I think that you know, we want people back in the cinemas. I want people back in the theatres. I want people watching things live and catch up. But you know, live would be good as well. That matters. That still matters to us. You know, I think that entertainment is needed right now, and also it's you know, a massive business. When people ask me, you know, oh, is cinema dead or whatever? You know, it's like a £6 billion business. Like it's not. You know, it might not be exactly that at the moment, but you know, I think that I think people want experiences now. I think we were cooped up for too long. You know, we were all working from home for a year. Like, I think people are ready to get back out. So we're just trying to create as much as possible. You know, there's some iffy times at the moment. You know, a few of these companies like the Netflixes of this world and Spotify's, you know, they had this big growth, and now it's kind of like all what's happening is a lot of consolidation going on, companies buying companies. So, but as long as people keep watching content, because we're in the content business and the audience business, that's what we're in, right? Making content for an audience. So as long as we can keep creating content and there's an audience for it, you know, hopefully we'll survive another 30 years and keep going.
Phenomenal. Alex, thank you so much for doing this. We'd love to have you back at some point. I've missed so many questions off. So we would definitely love to have you back on and do this again.
Pleasure. No, listen, anytime, guys. Congratulations. And you know what? Listen, having a podcast that needs consistency is a hard thing. You know, I have so many clients that have podcasts, and when they've done 3 or 4, they start getting lax on when they're doing them. And, you know, you're not going to thrive unless you have consistency, right? And when did you guys start the pod?
2019.
2019. So you went through COVID?
Yep.
We did. We started interviewing we didn't interview originally. We just did a stupid little 15-minute thing. And then we started interviewing in COVID, April 2020. But luckily, everyone was at home. So it kind of helped.
We've got nothing else to do. Let's do a podcast. Except for, you know, my 1 hour of walking a day. And crossing the street when one person was coming towards you. You know, all of that. Do you remember the first time you went out in the street during COVID and saw the first other person, and just how scared you were of that person?
So bad to it now.
That you ran to the other side of the road.
I'll still never get over. I'll still never get over having to queue for almost an hour and a half just to go into Sainsbury's to get a few basics.
I used to get so annoyed. I used to see people standing not 2 meters apart from another person, but they were apart, so they thought they were 2 meters, and you're like, they're clearly not 2 meters. That's at least a meter and a bit. You know, they're all gonna die. It was just like such a terrifying time. But a great time to start a podcast, though. I have to be honest with you.
It really was. Yeah, it worked brilliantly.
But congratulations, guys, because 2023 and you're still rocking and rolling. So, you know. But tell me very quickly about the charity and the foundation.
So the Sophie Lancaster Foundation was based in 2007. There was a goth girl and her boyfriend were walking through a park in Lancashire, and they were basically attacked and killed because they were goths. That was literally the reason. Nothing more, nothing less than that. So basically, the Sophie Foundation was set up by her family, and they had the tagline "Stamp out prejudice, hatred, and intolerance everywhere." And it's basically raising that awareness, because goth kids, emo kids, alternative kids are targeted and they're bullied and they're beaten for that. That's literally it. I went through it when I was younger. Tom went through it as well. So the whole plan is to try and get that alternative subculture classed as a hate crime, because it is.
It is, yeah.
And it's still today not been classed. The government just won't do it. So it's still just constantly getting that.
It's disgraceful.
To try and get it made. Like Coronation Street recently had a storyline based on it. And it's still very prevalent today, but it's just getting it to go. And we're not giving up. We've been working with the foundation for a little while now. And we're just not giving up until we get it to happen, because we've spoken to people at music festivals and they've said themselves, yep, I got attacked, I got bullied, I had fireworks thrown at me, everything, just because of the way I was dressed. Literally that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you guys doing that is amazing. It's disgraceful that that's the situation at the moment, and I think sadly, from a lot of things we've obviously seen on the news in the last couple of years, it definitely sounds like it's getting a bit worse. We one of our amazing agents here, who's the director of our company, is Brooke Kinsella, and Brooke's brother, Brooke used to be an actress, and her brother Ben was stabbed and killed many years ago, and obviously she has the Ben Kinsella Trust, which is incredible, and we're sort of big supporters of that, trying to stamp out knife crime. And I just don't know, Brooke is the most amazing person and an actress and agent now, and how she just gets up and cracks on with her day after that and going through that is insane. And they have the most amazing exhibitions around London with these great actors where they bring school classes in, and you're in a prison cell and you have actors who are playing the roles of people that have been sent to prison for knife crime, and they're hoping to just help stamp it out. And any of these sort of senseless attacks, it's unreal. And listening to her talk about knife crime, especially in London, it just sounds like it's getting worse. Like all of these things, it's just horrible. So listen, fair play to you guys, and it's good to hear about the charity and the foundation.
Yeah, it's like I say, it's disgusting. It still happens in this day and age. But as long as we've got people who support charities like that, hopefully one day.
Yeah, stamping it. Definitely. Anyway, I hope that was all right.
It was absolutely beautiful.
Cool. And I'm happy to come on again. Not a problem. Sorry, I've had 4 coffees today, so I was probably waffling half of that. But podcast, eh?
We love it. Thank you so much for doing this. It really means well. I'm glad we finally managed to get it done.
Yeah, do you know what? You asked me in August. I was in Edinburgh.
Was it August?
And then it was in August, I remember. And then it went on, and it went on from there, didn't it? And then it broke my fucking hip. That was fun. But it's difficult because when I'm in the office or when I'm at home, there's just no quiet. So you just have to I was like, if I do it late at night one day, then but I've got a meeting tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Hence why I was like, right, I better get home at good time because I've got to be up at stupid o'clock. So
go home and get some sleep, my friend. Thank you so much. Really
thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Take care, Alex. See you soon.
Cheers.
Bye.
What absolutely fantastic. It's such a fascinating conversation. And also he defended I'm a Celebrity in the most beautiful way. So I really liked it. Yeah.
A great show.
I just love the way he defended people going on that show, because that is one show I was going, why the fuck would you want to do this? So fair play.
I'd do it.
Would you? Oh, fuck that. No.
I actually would. Yeah, hell yeah, I'd do it. I would absolutely scream like a little bitch, but I'd do it.
No, fuck that. You wouldn't get me on there. But no, Alex, absolutely amazing to talk to you. This was so much fun. And we definitely need to get you back on, because I've still got so many questions from all the questions I wrote to ask still. Because, just incredible.
Absolutely. Alex, thank you so much again, my friend, for taking the time to chat to us. We really appreciate it. And we really hope that you guys enjoy listening to it as much as we did recording it.
It's about getting into schools and talking to young people, because, I know that people can change. And it's about talking to people and getting them to understand and perhaps step back from violence and prejudice and whatever. And we just need to work together and keep on the good fight there.
Absolutely. Hey there, guys. We are ecstatically happy to announce that we are associated with the Sophie Lancaster Foundation.
The times are changing, and with the unfortunate death of Sophie, those changes have made a massive impact for the future. If Sophie was with us still today, I can guarantee what you are doing will still be reaching so many lives of young teenagers, young adults, and those who wish to be as different as possible. So thank you very much.
To find out more about this incredible foundation and all the work they do, and more importantly, how you can help, head on over to www.sophielancasterfoundation.com. Mr. Stevens.
Do you know what's a real shame?
It cut out, didn't it?
Just about. I can literally hear you. Sorry. Do you want to try that again?
No, it's fine. I'm not doing the 2 takes. It's fine. The audience can enjoy what they got.
Okay. Yes?
Yeah. It's audience participation time.
Yeah, participate, bitch.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to participate in Jamie's participation challenge. This week, I said, the innocence of youth and the crushes we had, our first loves. But some of us, not as normal as the most. So this week, we ask, who were your bizarre childhood crushes? Animated, video games, puppets, whatever it may be. What say you, Mr. Stevens? Any weird ones?
I don't think I actually had any. Avril Lavigne was, I think, my first, but I was like a teenager by then. So as a kid, it never really crossed my mind.
No, I never really got into the old. Like everyone fancied Lara Croft at one point, which I never quite understood. In my school, anyway, I was never one of them. I never quite understood that one. I don't generally like my girls pixelated, if I'm honest.
Oh, really? I'm really into triangle breasts.
Yeah, precisely. Everyone seemed to have a thing for her. I never got that one. We all know Diane Udall Jet was my first love. We all know this. We've all heard the picture in the sock story. That was my first weird crush. But then again, not really weird. But we did have some bizarre answers. Abby Lloyd, basically every animated fox ever. But weirdly enough, I have heard so many people on like comment sections being crushing over the fox from Robin Hood.
So when she heard what does the fox say, did it make her, did it bring her to climax?
Oh, I wish I heard what the fox had to say. I do not like the face I just pulled down. I'm going to put a big sticker on my face on the YouTube video for that. Simon Mitchell says, I had a small thing for Nozomi, who was a main female character in the original Shenmue video game. I don't know what any of that is, but video game characters. Again. Wesley Pike, with the answer I expected to get 700,000 times. Jessica Rabbit. I mean, I get that one, to be fair. I get Jessica Rabbit, yeah. Fair. Can't argue that one.
I've never seen it, so I can't.
You've never seen it?
I know who she is, obviously.
Sammy Bacon just posted a gif of the Robin Hood fox. Everyone's got a thing for this fox. Don't know what it is, but people love this fox.
Yes, they know what they're doing.
Laurie Jean says, Beast from Beauty and the Beast, but only as a beast. He let me down as soon as he turned into a human.
There's a lot. Jamie, I've got a feeling there. I'm quite familiar with bestiality here.
I am getting the feeling. And she says, also Wolf from Gladiators. So it wasn't just me that fancied a gladiator when we were a kid. Graham White says, Launchpad McQuack from DuckTales. No, I don't know why.
Okay.
I mean, he was a pilot. Fair play. People have a thing for pilots. I get it. Saskia Turner Edwards. Bart Simpson. Saskia was an 8-year-old. I'm a little bit worried about you. But saying that, she was probably a young bit at the time. I'm going to hope anyway.
You would have thought so, yeah.
I'm hoping so, yes. Rebecca Cashman. Hexus in Fern Gully. I can't remember Fern Gully.
I've never seen it, so I can't indulge.
Nathan Benham. I'm with you with this one, my friend. Chitara from the Thundercats. Fuck yes.
Again, never watched it.
Dina Payne. David Attenborough. I mean, that
strong.
voice.
That's
that
strong,
voice.
Yeah.
That's not weird now with that voice. Come on. Kirsty Darby was and still is Edward Scissorhands.
Johnny Depp, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's Johnny Depp, yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe not let him come anywhere near you with the hands.
No.
Yeah. It's a reverse X-Men situation with Cyclops from earlier. Avoid the hands. Ollie Roylance, the purple cat from the Willy the Funk cartoon. What the fuck?
It's weird. It's what we asked for.
Riley Delve in an answer that really made me laugh. Billy Mitchell from EastEnders.
As you do.
As you do. Lucy Rowe, another one that really made me laugh. Alan Davis when he was in Jonathan Creek. Can't fucking stand the guy now, though. Two left. We have our good friend Ryan Williams. Of course, he's back as always. He's here every week. The Baroness from G.I. Joe. Fair enough. Rebecca Cunningham, the mom from Tailspin, mainly because I wanted her as a mom. That's a bit of a Freudian moment there, Ryan. Jessica Rabbit, of course. Gadget Hack Wrench from the Rescue Rangers. The Chipmunk.
Okay.
And from the X-Men, Psylocke, Jean Grey, Rogue, and Jubilee. Fair play. Can't argue with any of those choices, especially not Psylocke. Fair play. Can't argue with them. And last but not least, I'm never sure when this man comments if they are true comments of how he feels or he's just being a crazy, weird bastard that we love so much. It's Mally Malpass. I'm fairly sure I had, and still do, have a crush on Godzilla. Specifically this guy for 1974's Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. I posted a picture of him.
Okay. Can you put said picture up so we can absorb?
I will put said picture up. I was just like, what?
Well,
How do you have a crush on Godzilla?
You like what you like, don't you?
I suppose if you're into being dominated, there ain't no one around better to dominate you than fucking Godzilla, mate.
I hope he hasn't any reptiles.
Yeah, me actually, yeah. Good point. Stay away.
But we thank you everybody that participated in Jamie's challenge this week. We really appreciate everybody that gets involved. We love it. And you can come and check out the other 78 editions of the Chronicles of Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts from. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, Google, etc. and etc. We are fucking everywhere. This is what you need. Get the Chronicles of Podcast in your face. You can also come and find us on YouTube at the Chronicles of Podcast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Thank you to everyone that has been doing it so far. We're almost at the big 200. And you can so subscribe to us, hit the bell to get notified of whenever a new video gets released, and comment. You can also find our hashtag WBWs on there, our Way Back Wednesdays. You can find all of our live Bloodsuck interviews on there. Our live Bloodsuck vlog is on there, and our Dublin Quest vlog is on there as well. You can also find us on the old Facebook at the Chronicles of Podcast. Make sure you hit that like button, share it everywhere, tell your mates about it, make sure everyone's following it. And whilst you're there, Jamie, where else could you find us?
You can find us on the InterTalent website, looking at all the amazing people on there who you should go all follow and support all their little business ventures.
Absolutely. And whilst on the Twitter at TCO Pod. Whilst you're on InterTalent's website and on our Twitter, Jamie, where else could you find us?
Looking across the ring at your opponent going, I see you. I see
Absolutely.
you.
And also on the Instagram at TCO Pod. You can also find us on LinkedIn at the Chronicles of Podcast. Come and connect with us on there. We'd be graciously appreciated. We are on TikTok at the Chronicles of Podcast at TCO Pod. Come and find us on there. We're sharing loads of little clips of the shows and stuff from the week previous. Jamie's doing a bang up job of that. And you can also come on down to our website at www.thechroniclesofpodcast.com. All about us are on there. You can see all of our shows and episodes and editions even on there. All the team. And our incredible brand new store that's now on there as well. You can buy yourselves a Chronicles of Podcast t-shirt. There's hoodies, and there's a Treachings Pet t-shirt. There's a Rihanna t-shirt. So make sure you come get involved and come and get yourself some TCO Pod merch. And follow us on all the socials, of course.
Before we get out of here, shall we say thank you to a few of our friends? Every single piece of music you hear on this show is brought to you not by a band, not by a team of people, but by one man. And that man is Mr. Singer-songwriter Matt Roberts. Go check him out on all the social medias at Matt Roberts Music. You can find him everywhere. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere you will find him. And then go and find him on Spotify and give him a follow right now. He's just dropped a brand new album and I want you all to go and listen to it right now because it is fantastic. And as I said, make sure you're following Matt on all of the social medias at Matt Roberts Music because he has a very, very amazing new project in the lines to be announced very, very soon.
The new album's called Light of Day.
That was it. I couldn't remember. Thank you. And of course, we heard from him earlier. It's Mr. Braden Barry and his Stay Cozy Clothing. Head on over to www.staycozyclothing.com. Have a look what they got on the website. It could be this t-shirt. It could be Tom's hat. It could be those hoodies we're sometimes wearing. It could be anything you like the look of. And add any of those to your basket. There's currently a sale on as well. Get a bit of cheeky extra money off. And once it's in your basket, add that discount code, The Chronicles, and get yourself 10% off your order. And hopefully in that basket, you have included the Sophie Lancaster collaborative t-shirt, because 50% of the profits of that t-shirt go directly to the foundation. We cannot thank Braden enough for doing his little bit to support this incredible charity. It means the absolute world to us. And speaking of Braden Barry, he's got a brand new album. It's out today. The day this episode drops, go and check out his brand new album right now. It's phenomenal. But could you expect anything less from Mr. Say We Could Fly? You're going to remind me of the album name, aren't you?
Beneath the Roses.
That's the one. There we are. Go check and see 2 brand new albums and a new edition of the show to check out. Is there a better way to spend a Friday? Spoiled for choice. But of course, while you're listening to those, you're doing nothing else on your phone. So why not head over to support the Sophie Lancaster Foundation? They're stamping out prejudice, hatred, and intolerance everywhere. And that means everywhere. They've just posted on their social medias, there is a charity concert being run in Canada this weekend. That is how far that message is being spread. It is absolutely incredible to see. And if you are over there in Canada, in the Toronto area, head on over. Go support this amazing show and this amazing charity. Can't thank you enough for everyone who listens to this show, who has supported the charity so far. But if you haven't and you wish to, it doesn't have to be money. Of course, money means the world. It helps in every single way. Of course, it is what makes the world go round. But if you can head over to www.sophielancasterfoundation.com, click on the hate crime tab, there is a questionnaire to be filled in. If you've ever been treated differently because of the music you listen to, the way you dress, anything, no matter what it is, if you've been treated differently just for being yourself, we need you to fill in this questionnaire, because the amount of evidence we can get to send to the courts to say to them, look, the alternative subculture is a hate crime. It's classed as a hate crime. People are being treated because of this. They're being treated different because of this. And that is literally the only reason why. So let's put an end to this. Let's help achieve Sylvia's mission and put this to rest and get it put as a strand of the hate crime. We cannot wait to work with these guys over summer at the festivals, and we can't wait to announce what we're doing with them. We've got several things lined up. It's going to be an incredible year for the foundation. So please head on over to them, follow all the social medias, everything you can, and throw some support towards the foundation. And last but not least, a massive thank you to this handsome fella right here.
Did tell my friend right back at you. So I appreciate that massively. And Jamie, another glorious episode in the bag.
Another glorious episode indeed. Can you believe we're at 80 next week?
Absolutely amazing. And once again, Alex, thank you so much again for coming and chatting to us. We thoroughly enjoyed it, and we can't wait to have you back. I know how busy you are, so thank you so much. And as for you people, all of you over there, as for this week, we'll see you all next week.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye!